What's up, guys? It's Mixed Marital Arts. I'm Amparo.
I'm Wade.
And we're going to do a recap of last night's fight. We're just going to go through our original picks. I think we did really good. It was a 6-leg parlay, and we got 5 out of 6. And
this is the third time in a row that, we get killed by the main event.
By one fight. Insane. The
Insane.
other one wasn't
Insane.
the main event. It was the co-main event.
Which one?
It was the Acosta versus...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was a co-main event. But it's been, 3 in a row that we're off by 1.
That's how they get you,
It's what's the percentage of 6-leg parlays hitting? So I thought we did really good.
Yeah. First off, we're gonna go off with the Ryan Spann and Marcus Buchecha Almeida. That one went exactly how I thought it would.
Exactly as you predicted.
Yeah.
Down to the leg locks.
Yeah, I already knew that Buchecha was gonna gas out. His previous performances have been really shitty. I'm not really sure exactly how he performed so well at the One Championship and other platforms, but I think it's just that the UFC is just a different level, and that also maybe the steroids screening is a lot better or something like that. But, I don't know. But yeah, it just went exactly how I thought it would regarding his past few performances. He just gasses out, few shitty takedown attempts, gasses out, tries to go for his leg lock, and just gets bombed on, but although he is, a 2-time ADCC champion and 10-time world champion, the UFC's different, man.
I do think Ryan Spann did so well. Like, his power and his agility for heavyweight was insane. Yeah.
And he's definitely a threat for the heavyweight. He's definitely...
Especially low, what was it? Last minute, like 3-week notice or something?
Yeah. It wasn't like super last minute, but still.
No, but he didn't have like a full camp.
Yeah, it's a decent amount of time, So
as expected.
Shout out to Ryan Spann. Easy dub. What's crazy to me is that, Ryan Spann was the underdog on the money line. Easy underdog win, easy underdog to bet on. Easy money. So thank you for that.
We didn't even make any money.
I know, we lost. But whatever.
Anyway,
I'm just saying, if you were to bet individually,
yes,
that would be a good one,
And then the next one was Barcelos versus Jackson. I think our prediction was pretty good for this one too.
Barcelos?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That one sort of went how we predicted as well.
It was a close fight.
Definitely. I don't think it was that close.
Wasn't it split decision?
It was split decision, but I felt like the whole time, dude, every round, Barcelos had his arm around his neck and had top control.
Yeah. A lot of ground control.
He may have had a couple, like a little bit more damage, in the face area. He was bleeding, but that's about it. Other than that, like I feel like Barcelos was getting the most of it. Getting the best of Jackson there.
Yeah, I think Jackson had that huge reach advantage, and he was really good at finding those pockets to really clock him. But I mean, he has such a good chin. He ate those up, honestly.
Yeah, he does. And he's a sniper. He's really good at timing his stuff. Mm-hmm. But against Barcelos, he's very unpredictable. He switches up from takedown attempts to those uppercuts that he does. So it's really hard to set something up against him, especially if you're a reactionary fighter like Jackson. You wait for those moments, but Barcelos just doesn't give you any of those moments.
You got 3 rounds.
Yeah, and Barcelos is just in your face the whole time. Lateral movement, moving side to side, up and down, just Yes, those takedowns were insane too. They're great, you know, and badass wrestler, black belt, jiu-jitsu black belt, um, great striker, you know, hits super hard. Um, you know, he performed real well, you know, and he's on a win streak. This is 5 fights for him now, so yeah, we'll see what's in store for him in the future. But yeah, good job, Marcellus. That was a great one.
Yeah, and the next one was Martinetti versus Grant. Easy.
Yeah. Also, what?
Yeah, it was just as predicted, I think.
Yeah, we saw this sort of coming. You know, they always do this with newcomers in the UFC. I think they just like try to they try to throw these newcomers
With
in
the
the
old
hopes
guys.
of with the hopes of like making some waves, you know, like
Yeah.
fighting these veterans. But you know, the UFC is a different level. He may have had a great fight against his opponent against Vologdin in the Contender Series, and they both ended up getting contracts. But um, the UFC is something else. You know what I mean? It's just because he had a good fight against his opponent at the Contender Series, Dana White's Contender Series. I don't really think that means a lot, to be honest.
No.
And this fucking showed it, you know.
Yeah.
You know, he put up a good fight, you know, amazing fight, but I expected this to go exactly how it did. You know, David Grant uses skills, uses awareness.
His kicks, a lot of
He's
those
super
body
crafty
kicks.
with his hands, you know. Very elusive, hard to hit.
Yeah, he was hard to hit.
Yeah, and he hits super hard too. You know, he was going in early with those calf kicks and just really breaking him down. And you could kind of tell how Martinetti's his stance started to get narrow and narrow because he was like, man, I gotta switch stances. I gotta avoid these calf kicks here. And then slowly started breaking him down. But as time passed, David Grant did show some signs of fatigue. You know, and started to lay back on the gas pedal there. And Martinetti did, you know, I feel like he really could have beat him if he just applied a little bit of more of the pressure. You know, they said he was training out in Mexico City up in 7,000 feet elevation, you know, and it showed. You could tell he was definitely a lot more conditioned compared to Davy Grant, but
he's 10 years younger.
He's younger, you know, but Davy Grant's heart was like, and his experience too. You know, he's like, man, I'm not gonna let this happen to me. He even stuffed a few takedowns, which was amazing, you know. But I feel like if Martinetti just, you know, mixed in a little bit more wrestling, and you know, because you could tell he had Davy Grant on the ground for a little bit. I think in the end, I don't know, but yeah, he definitely if he would have put a little bit more on the gas pedal towards the end, I feel like Martinetti could have pulled something off, but no, yeah. So good job, David Grant. You're a badass. Yep. All right.
The next one was a good one. It was Rafa Garcia versus Hernandez.
Shout out Bloodline. Let's
fight.
go, dude.
He killed
another
it.
one
He
exactly how we predicted. Another one
Yeah.
exactly how we predicted. You know, you saw Rafa, great knockout power.
Dominated.
But he's been choosing to, like, you know, be a little bit more methodical with his striking, choosing his punches. You know, not necessarily being on the back foot, but also just staying planted, you know, staying planted, a lot of great head movement, you know, keeping his eyes open. You know, you saw that against Hernandez, and the whole time you just saw Hernandez was just on the chase there the whole time. Rafa was just like 1, 2, 3 steps ahead the whole time, you know, especially when he was taking him down. Like Hernandez just had no answer.
No.
And dude, those takedowns that Rafa got were freaking badass, man. They were sick. His boxing was just insane, you know.
His boxing was next level, honestly. Like,
the
shots that he was landing had so much power behind them.
Yeah, and you could tell, like, Hernandez even got a little frustrated a little bit, and I think they got in a little scuffle there. You know, it was funny. But yeah, good job,
so
Rafa.
amazing.
Shout out
So
Team
amazing.
Bloodline. Yeah,
he's on a win streak too.
Yeah, crazy win streak. Yeah, hopefully we see him soon in the cage for sure. Yeah, shout out Team Bloodline again. You guys are doing a great job. Come Swanson, kicking everyone's ass
Yep.
over there. But yeah, hopefully we see Richie Miranda in the UFC soon. He's got a fight coming up May 22nd, I believe,
Yeah, I think
in
so.
New York.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is the one that punches his ticket in the UFC. You know, we'll see how the performance goes. You know,
Yep.
but yeah, shout out Bloodline later. Great job, Rafa.
Yeah, amazing job.
Badass.
The next one was the Edwards versus Dumont fight. That one was a good one. It was a little touch and go after the first round, just after Dumont got her on the ground. She has amazing ground control, obviously, and I think Jocelyn got a little bit scared. But she was a sniper like we predicted. I think it was kind of what we thought. I just think she needs a little more work on her grappling.
Yeah, but even then, like, I feel like she's so big, you know? Like, even when she did get taken down, there was a part where, like, she just started to get her hips up and
Yeah,
just,
she
like,
bridged.
yeah, she bridged so hard and, like, had Dumont's head, you know,
Yeah.
had her arm around the head. And usually, you know, in wrestling or whatever, you're not supposed to hang onto the head, you know? It usually it's usually a disservice to yourself, you know, when you're hanging on the head like that. But
She's
it's
strong.
crazy, man. She
She's
just
strong.
ripped it and was like, fuck it, I'm gonna take it this way. And it worked. Which was insane, you know.
That
She
is
took her over.
insane,
It was dope. I was like, man, and you know, I
Props to
sort
her.
of called it, you know, whenever she's in those like clinch type situations, she usually just out muscles herself out of these situations, you know. So great job to her, you know. Not as much striking as I expected, as I anticipated, as I hoped for to see.
It picked back up in like the third round, I think, once she kind of let go of that fear of being taken
yeah,
down.
you could tell she started to, you know, piece it together and
Loosen
stuff like
up,
that. Yeah. But yeah,
it was a good performance. It was,
it was a great performance, you know, great performance, you know, on short notice too, you know. She jumped in. Yeah.
Moved up from 11 to 3.
Dude, insane, you know.
Yeah,
Great job.
such a
great
cool
job to her.
opportunity, yeah.
And shout out to Dumont too
Yeah.
for giving her an opportunity too. That's
For sure.
that's a good one. That's a gamer for sure. So yeah, good job.
Sick
Edwards,
fight, yeah.
Jocelyn Edwards, we're a big fan of you. Yep.
And on to the main event, which is the only fight that we did not predict.
We always fucking do this, dude.
You
Pisses
can't
me
win all of them all the time. But yeah, what did you think of that fight?
The one way where I saw Yusuf losing, he
As you
lost.
said,
And
yeah.
honestly, we should have known this was gonna happen because although we did say Aljamain Sterling didn't really have anything special other than his wrestling, his grappling. I think, yeah, Yusuf the whole time he kind of like got too confident with his striking, and to the point where he's like just waiting the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, like after the first round, I'm like, okay, yeah, he's just feeling it out.
He's saving the gas tank.
Yeah, saving the gas tank, saving the gas tank, just feeling him out. And then, you know, the next round came, and then there were so many. There's a few opportunities
yeah.
where, you know, Yusuf chose not to punish Aljamain. You know, there were times you know you saw. I don't know. I'm just a guy. I'm just a YouTuber. What do I know? You know, but I feel like there were a lot of times where he held back from, you know, countering against these strikes against Aljamain, but
maybe it's lack of experience. Maybe it's
maybe it was just the fact that they trained together and you didn't want to hurt him or something. I don't know. No. That's stupid, but you know what I mean. I just feel like he was just a little overconfident with his striking and his grappling abilities because you know. He had a lot of success when his back was to the center of the mat. You know, when he was the one controlling the center, he was having a lot of success. You know, but once, you know, and Yusuf's known for his lateral movement and able to be so elusive. I feel like, and I feel like Yusuf the whole time was just reactionary the whole time, just trying to react to everything the whole time. And against, not the best game plan, especially against a former champion and, you know, against someone that's been in multiple 5-round fights. I think this is the first time Yusuf has gone 5 rounds. and it showed, man. We made the mistake of not taking that into consideration, because we just assumed, he has beaten, a few big names, so we were on that train, we were on the hype train.
You convinced me.
Yeah.
I had predicted this.
Off camera, so it
Off
doesn't count.
camera, sorry.
All right, whatever. But yeah, we should have listened to you probably. But hats off to Aljamain. Good job. Yeah, there were a few instances where Yusuf came close using his submissions. There was a point where he had an arm in guillotine, I believe, and almost a triangle, or with Aljamain's arm trapped under his overhook.
Yeah.
I feel like he could have done something with that, but I don't know. I just felt like Yusuf was just like, there was no sense of
Underprepared.
urgency, no
Underprepared.
sense of urgency. Just kind of, I don't know, just seemed lazy, But that's just me, And this is Aljamain's obviously a different beast when it comes to his opponents. So yeah, we were off by one. Hopefully next time we could catch the whole main card and make some money. But till then,
Let us know how we did.
we were so close.
We were so close. We'll do our predictions for the next card, and we'll catch you guys then.
So yeah, we'll catch you guys later. Make sure to like and subscribe.
See you next time, guys.
See ya.